Hello, I'm back again with two more plates from Bunny Nails. Both of these plates to me have a feeling of springtime and romance, and are perfect for any kind of springtime manicures, Valentine's Day manicures, stuff like that. So I think it's perfect timing for me to show you these at the beginning of January, as we are coming in to that season of spring and rebirth and romance and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so up in the corner here, I love this. I've seen a number of manicures lately that have a distressed sort of look to them, and this is a really easy way to get that look. You can have your nails just with that distressed look, or have that as a background and put other things on top of it. This is really interesting. It's kind of like a flower, but it's got this kaleidoscope feel. There are a couple of different images on these plates that have that kaleidoscopy kind of feel, and I think they're really interesting and really fun. This is like little bitty flowers, a sort of a diamond pattern. They don't have to be flowers. They could be, but you could play them into that. You could also do something with studs, like maybe putting actual little rhinestones or studs on a few of these, or using that little circle as a placement for little micro beads. A lot of creative, flexible things you can do with that. Here is a background. Okay, here is a full nail image, but where you're stamping, you're not stamping the flowers, you're stamping the background. And the flowers are actually going to be the color of your underlying polish. And she's got a couple of these on here as well, which I think also gives you flexibility. If you have a polish that is a really pretty base color for flowers, but doesn't stamp really well, this is a good way to get the look of that base polish. It looks like that was your stamping color, when really you're covering it with a different stamping color, like a silver or something that stamps really effectively. So if there are color combinations that you've wanted to use, but they're hard because the one that you wish stamped doesn't stamp, I think those kinds of images are good for that. Here we have another similar one, and these are, I like that these kind of go together, because this one, you're stamping the actual flowers, and here you're stamping the background. So you could also play around with things like having an accent nail on this one, and having the rest of your nails on this one, or vice versa. This is a very cool lacy pattern that you could do, kind of Victorian looks with. You could do romantic looks with. I like that you could even make it, we could do it, stamp it that way on your nails, and it could be fringe, or even kind of almost like a French look if you stamped it that way on the edge of your nails. You could do a lot of cool stuff with that. You know me and my flourishes. I love any kind of flourish, so this is definitely one of my favorite images. This is another one of my favorite images with this sort of filigree, flourishy scroll work. So pretty. How delicate is that? And again, if you've got maybe a green polish that you love, but that doesn't stamp really well, it's a great way to get that showing through and then stamping another color over it. A beautiful tree. I've got a number of tree images. There's lots of but what I love about this one is it's almost like there's little buds. So perfect for springtime. Those leaves are just starting up. And it would gotta be cool too to take like the winter, a winter tree and have it be on one nail, and then that spring tree, and then maybe a full-grown tree. It's nice having that kind of flexibility. This is this reminds me of a pattern on like a sweater or a jersey or something like that. Kind of cool. There's a name for that kind of pattern. I can't think of it right now because, of course, I'm making a video. It would be a convenient time for me to be able to remember, so of course I can't. This is a larger image, as you can see, way bigger than my fingernails. So this is a collage style image, but a smaller version. So if you've seen some of my MoU videos, I've talked a little bit about the things that I think you can do with collage kinds of images. And, you can just, maybe you want a chintz look over all of your nails, and you just want to stamp different areas in here on each of your nails. Or maybe you just want those birds on your accent nail. So you want to just get those birds, or maybe you just want, you know, a couple of these little flowers on different nails and you want to be able to isolate them. So I'm going to go ahead and link below some information on isolating images, and I would definitely say if you're interested in learning more about that kind of thing, take a look at some of my posts or my videos about the Moyu collage style plates, because I talk a little bit more about that. I think they're really flexible and really beautiful, so many things that you can do with them. So don't let these big images scare you off. Don't say, okay, I don't know, you know, what the heck I'm supposed to be able to do with this. Give them a chance, because they're a lot of fun and great to use. Okay, a couple of smaller images. Look at how beautifully that goes with this. So I like that there is flexibility that you can design with in some of the little pairings that she does. And of course, some roses that could go with these roses. And then we've got another kind of little flourish and a different little kind of flower there. A little branch, and maybe that could go with, even with this. And then I love this. This is, okay, completely not relevant to nails or stamping, but at Halloween time I saw some beautiful eyelashes that were made of paper that looked like this. That reminds me of this. You could get that effect across your nails, or even just, you know, one nail, however you want to do it. And again, I like the flexibility of maybe I want to have that cute pattern on all my nails, but I don't want the exact same pattern on each one. So then I can have this one, and then I can have that one, and then I can have that one if I want on all of the different nails. Okay, so that is Bunny Nails Plate A, and then let me show you Plate B. So here we've got not roses, but a slightly different kind of flower with lots of leafiness going on. So you could, you know, depending on the size of your nails, you could probably even just get some of the leafy stuff here without really getting the flowers, or getting them so that they would really be on the edge, you wouldn't even know. So I think that you can play around with that a little bit too, or just center that if you want to, or have it, you know, come in where the flowers are at the base of your nail. That's one of the reasons why I like the bigger images, because even if they're not the collage-y images, the real big ones, there's just so much more you can do with them than, you know, some of the smaller images on other plates where you've pretty much kind of got to use it as is. Here's another one of the ones that I was talking about that looks like a kaleidoscope kind of to me, the different kinds of colors. So this would be kind of cool, because this is again another one where you're covering your background, or excuse me, you're covering most of your nail with what you're stamping here, and you're letting your underlying polish show through as the design. So you could do a design where you've got different colors on your nail, stamp that over in like silver, and have a kind of a tie-dyed rainbow effect. That would be pretty interesting, pretty trippy. This looks almost like water marble to me. Looks like you could kind of play with it and get some water marble effects. I love, this has kind of an Indian design to me, almost like a paisley, but not quite. I don't think it's technically, but I mean, if you kind of, I guess you could turn it into a paisley if you wanted to. Here's another kind of a little bit, it's like a scrollworky filigree design, but again, this is the one that stamps where the design that shows is your underlying nail polish. I love this with the makeup lipstick perfume, very, very girly. And then you've got some stuff, some kind of netting here that you could do your own lace, or just any kind of background where you'd like, you know, that look. Another one where your design that shows through is your underlying polish. And I love these beautiful flowers, big and open spaces. Another kind of smaller filigree little flourishy design. And here's a crazy, well, it's not crazy, but it's kind of, you know, like psychedelic-y lines. I've got some comic book plates that I think this would be really cool with. And then another design that looks to me kind of like an Indian-inspired design, paisley. I love designs like this. They're just so pretty. And these are, I saw somebody recently, I can't remember the name of the blog right off of my head, at the top of my head, who made nail decals with these kinds of designs where you stamp this and then color it in, and you turn it into a decal that you put on your nails, and she filled them in with such beautiful colors. Okay, this is another one where you're stamping over your polish and your polish is showing through, and a couple of simple flowers and some pretty leaves. And then I love this, and you can see why I feel like this is romantic and good for Valentine's Day. Stuff about love and the jolt of electricity when you feel the love. And then of course we've got the is it EEG? I think that's the EEG, right, that does that pattern. Heart monitor, let me just say it like that, right? And then of course your heart there. Little bird in a cage, which is so sweet. And then these remind me of like mums, and I guess those are kind of like poppies there, very pretty. And another one that this would be a beautiful one to do nail decals with. Here we go. Let me get this in focus. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, I think that's right. All kinds of flowers everywhere. But, you know, I think this would be another good one where if you had a whole bunch of different colors on your nail and you stamp that over, that would be so cool. And cherry blossoms, very sweet, very pretty, and enough again that you could run it all over your nails, where you could just decide that you want to do the tips here on one nail, or however you want to do that. And then the music, the bar of music, which you could do over your nails, or just the one, however you want to do that. This makes me, Mardi Gras is also coming up soon, and this would be a beautiful thing for a Mardi Gras kind of celebration. And then a couple of different kinds of lace that you could use across your nails or to build patterns with. And I like that she's also included a couple of different leaves here, so you could you can do little sprays. Like say you wanted on this plate right here, you take one of these roses, right, and then you want to do some sprays of foliage out from under it. You could do that around, or you know, underneath the different rows. Maybe even have like your rose on this nail and a rose on this nail, and the kind of leaves coming off and over on these two other nails. And then a couple of different kinds of foliage leaves there that you can do the same thing with, or of course just use, you know, on their own. Alright, so that is Bunny Nails B, and let me show you, for these full nail images, let me show you what they look like in comparison to that Konad plate there. So you can see, just really huge compared to the standard Konad plate. You're going to have no problems, you know, if you've got I guess mine are on the short-ish side right now, maybe going to medium length nails. You're not going to have any problem getting those covered at all. And even slightly longer nails. You have to have pretty long nails to not have these cover in one stamp. And it certainly is going to make it easier for you to use the images, even if you do have nails that are longer, if you've got more area to play around with. And for those of us who have the shorter nails, we've got the flexibility to use the different parts of the images that we want. And then again, let me just show you here with some of these images. So this is gonna be small enough to fit on a nail. You're not gonna have a problem with that. But it's also not gonna be so tiny that you don't have to that you're not going to be able to see it. And then here we go again with those full nail images, and then next to that more collage style image, you can get a feel for how big the birds are and the flowers are. So you've got some flowers here that are definitely going to be small enough to use here. This is going to, you know, cover a nail with no problem. So there you go, gives you a little bit of an idea about the size. So as always, I will put stills of these on my blog, and I will do some stamping testing and show you either a manicure or some stamp tests, depending on, you know, what mood strikes me once I'm done with the video. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.